Hi traders, welcome to this live currency strength indicator table video with me, John, on this Wednesday, the 26th of July. So, Swiss still remains top of our day traders table and trend traders table. If we flick back to yesterday, it was actually on the weak side. We actually saw it drop off from that strong side and was actually on the weak side. And however, before that, it was a strong currency. So a little bit of a pullback potentially that we saw then on the Swiss franc. It has now appeared as the strongest currency. So looking again to see if the markets that are with the Swiss franc at the moment on the weak side are going to continue to sort of push lower. Now, Kiwi Swiss is a chart that we featured a few days ago. We were looking for some further downside on this market, and in particular if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, we were talking about if price could get back in and around this zone here, we could look for the short trading opportunity. Now if you are in that position at the moment, you're around about 30 pips up. Target is down around about 90 pips at this 0 spot 53 handle. So nothing really for us to kind of look into here at the moment. Everything's downward trend. Nothing that we talked about previously has changed, apart from getting that pullback and getting that entry into the market. So we'll see if that can continue to push to the downside here. Price trading back below the 50 moving average on the hourly time frame. 4 hours still technically trading to the downside. This pullback has been a bit aggressive there, so you could argue that price may begin to make a head and shoulders pattern and that we could see a reversal here. However, you know, strength and weakness table suggesting that this market could trend lower, so I'm looking more on that side of things here as Kiwi has returned to the weak side of the tables. Now, a currency pair that features at the top of the day traders is Euro Swiss. So Euro Swiss is actually a really nice pair to look at the moment. If I just pop up to that weekly time frame, you can see how bearish this market has been over the recent couple of years. Price has recently traded through these weekly lows here around about the 0 spot 97 handle. So that extension there could extend down into the all-time lows here, perhaps down to this 94.50 handle if we're aggressive. If not, we could look around and maybe the 0 spot 95 area. So again, kind of looking to see if we get some kind of downside moves into that point. Now, looking down the chart, if we go to the daily time frame, you can see that 97 area does look like a good area of resistance. So you might consider waiting for price to pull all the way back up into this area. The only problem with that is 160 pip away, which is almost 3 times the or around about 3 times the ATR at the moment. So to get that back to there may take a few days, possibly even weeks, because if you look at the sort of ATR there and the recent price action, it may take a good while for price to get back to that point. What I would say is if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see we created this kind of squeeze triangle pattern in there. Price has broken down through that pattern now, so I wouldn't mind actually looking for price to pull back maybe into the 0 spot 96 handle here. If we had a 50 pip stop loss on this, or even just above these highs, maybe even a 60 pip stop loss, you still got a good risk reward ratio down to that 94.50 handle. If we just kind of measured it loosely there, around about 150 pips down to that point. So I'll be looking for that pullback into there. That looks quite nice to me, and euro has been fairly weak recently. The only thing we have to consider with euro is there is an ECB rate decision announcement coming tomorrow, so that may add a little bit of risk into this potential market move. So please consider that before looking in depth at that market. We did feature Swiss yen recently as well. Yen is a little bit interesting at the moment in terms of we're actually seeing a little bit of strength coming back into the Japanese yen at this current moment in time. If we actually go to Swiss yen, you can see that the market has pull back quite significantly here. So looking to see if there's an opportunity for price to pull back in and around this area here. We have kind of pulled back into it. We were looking for entries previously around about this 1 62 sort of 40 area. We haven't had that area met yet, but you can see, look, a bit of risk off coming in the market there. Price has dropped quite significantly, about 76 pips lower. So yeah, interesting little situation going on here with yen at the moment. If it can maybe pull back a little bit further, maybe Swiss yen still could offer us an opportunity. The only thing being with this one is that, you know, 163, 164 is going to be the target there. Stops where you're going to really put them down below that low. Risk reward wise doesn't look the greatest, in all honesty. So yeah, definitely something to consider there. Kiwi dollar remains on the tables. We spoke about Kiwi dollar yesterday. Kiwi dollar interesting and is in a key area of resistance. So this was the zone that we were discussing previously. If we take a look at the 4-hour time frame, price still technically bearish here. We have traded through this trend line, so that's a little bit of a sort of first warning sign maybe, but ultimately price has not created a new higher high yet. This area around about 62.44 is kind of in my mind of what we need to look at. If price kind of extended through that, I think that would be an area where we may need to consider killing the trade. At the moment, we're in the trade. We are looking at that area of the 62.25 as an entry point, so in a little bit of profit if you took the position there. Looking for some further downside here to Kiwi. Big day for the dollar though, so this is the day that we're going to see all the FOMC news coming out, and yeah, big day for the dollar. So depends on your risk appetite. Are you happy to hold through a major key event like that? Maybe you want to see how the US session opens. If the US session opens, dollar gets stronger and Kiwi dollar manages to get into some kind of position of profit, you may want to consider locking in that before the event. So let's see what happens anyway with this. A little bit of a turnaround in the market so far. Hopefully it can start pushing back the other way again, and yeah, we'll see what happens there. Pound has also kind of reverted and is now on the strong side of the tables, which yesterday wasn't the sort of wasn't the view. We were actually on the weak side of the tables, so getting a little bit of pullback in the pound as well, which is interesting. So we'll see what happens. Kiwi dollar still looks fairly favorable to the downside. Don't think I'm going to pick a call out today. The only thing I would like to look at maybe is that Euro Swiss, but we do have some big data coming up, and it depends on your risk appetite and how much risk you have open already. But maybe we could look at the sort of 50-60 pip stop there and a move down. Price is about 50 pips away from price anyway, so the ATR is kind of covered today. So you know, we may see that sort of move happen if the ECB on the ECB rate decision. So yeah, we'll see what happens, and hopefully you enjoyed the content, and I'll speak to you in the next video.